so ignore that for the bottom down there. But he's actually the president of Livestream TV, as I discussed with you guys earlier. And I'm going to sit this down here because we want Brother Mike to be able to hear you guys for the Q&A portion. So just pass the mic down and around as needed. But there's a couple of things that I am going to share first and foremost with you guys as it pertains to the video portion of our worship services. All right. Through the eyes of worship is what I'm calling this segment. This is basically speaking and discussing the video portion of what we do in the media ministry. A lot of people get to this point, think and see dollar signs when it's not the case. All right. Worship video production should bring the viewers into the atmosphere by means of crystal clear video, audio, lighting, and a digital format viewable on all devices. All right. So basically, when you're directing video or looking at video, you cannot look at it as though, okay, I got audio, I got video, we cool. Basically, you have to look at it as if your viewers are being pulled inside of your worship environment. And does your video and your audio do that adequately? It should really be our goal to make sure that if the service is going on here at 3500 Norwood, that I feel, hear, and see the same effect as if I was sitting on one of the pews. How do I get that? By intelligible quality audio and by crystal clear video. All right. A lot of people, and I tell my guys at all three of the churches, these are called IMAG, image magnification. All right. That's what those screens are supposed to be used for. Image magnification, making the image larger. All right. If the image on your screens are the same size or smaller than the person that's standing right here in real life, it kind of defeats the purpose. All right. You really want to magnify your image on those screens. That's a separate part of the ministry than what's happening on your cell phone via your Facebook Live or your streaming. You really want to paint the picture and really pull your viewers into the atmosphere that you are in within your churches. This is a tough feat because a lot of people see that I got crystal clear, I got good video, and they can hear. My job is done. Well, that's not the truth. You want to make sure that your stream and that your video team is actually pulling your members, engaging your viewing audience in. And one of the ways that we do that is by realizing, again, that less is more. You don't have to have 18 cameras moving all around because sometimes that's a distraction. And so if your church is at the point where, hey, I can afford one good camera, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Dream Center is operating off one camera. Who is Dream Center? It's Bishop William Murphy in Atlanta. They're operating off of one camera on the tripod. And they have over 800, sometimes they reach 1,000 viewers a week. And it's just one person, one volunteer on the camera. So you do not have to have the 4-camera, 5-camera, jib camera system in order to have a successful online viewing audience. Less is more when you're dealing with video. Because right now, when people click onto your live, you better pull them in within the first 5 seconds or they're going to move on to the next thing. And so when you got a lot going on, when it's not crystal clear, when it's not intelligible audio, when it's not intelligible or clear video, then you'll lose them. So you have to do everything that you can to really make sure that you're capturing your audience. All right. If personnel is not available, outputs from the live feed must be routed to the video, but the quality still must be managed. Meaning that if you don't have a person that can sit there and monitor the audio of your live stream, all right, it's best to just do what's coming out of the house. All right? But still, you need somebody with some headphones on, somebody that's going out to your social media, making sure that they monitor that. All right? You should still have, even in that case, a separate volume control for your live stream. All right? You should still be able to independently control the volume in that worst case scenario by having it independently controlled with some kind of fader or volume. Now, where a digital mixer still comes into play here. For instance, we have the X32 back there. It has a streaming aux output where we can kind of set the levels that goes out to streaming. That doesn't affect anything that's heard here or in the monitors or anything. It's its own entity. So if I'm listening out of town, which this has happened several times, I'll call Trey and say, hey, Trey, turn Bishop down in the streaming mix. It's way too loud. He can go to Send Zone Fader, go to the streaming mix, and just pull them down and not affect anything that's going on here. Okay, so that's the benefit of your digital mixer, is to control or set up parameters for a streaming mix that's independent of what's going on in the sanctuary. However, you tie your hands when you go with option here, where you have to run from the output of your house. So that's just another benefit, of having a digital console. You can go in there and make changes that just only affect the streaming without affecting what's going on in the house. All right. Also, we already covered less is more. AV teams with limited volunteers should consider a PTZ camera system. What is a PTZ camera system? It's point, tilt, and zoom camera system. I can't speak highly enough of PTZs. We're using PTZs here now. That's what you're seeing up on the screen. And Taylor is operating 4 cameras. One person is operating 4 cameras. We got one up here behind that kind of catches the back. Taylor, if you go to camera 4 for me. Yep. And there she goes. You can see she can cover you. They rotate 360 degrees, 3 chip. Then you got one that kind of covers the far over there. Well, that's that one over there in the back. And they can zoom in all the way to the fiber of the color of my shirt. Can do 360, and you have your center camera here. And then we put another one over here. And this is the best part about PTZ cameras. I put these in 15 years ago. These cameras are 15 years old. We're getting ready to upgrade. These cameras are 15 years old. I put these in 2003. And they still work good. Why am I switching them out? It's because they don't do high definition resolution, and we want to do 16 by 9. They're standard definition. But still, at standard definition, that looks great. And if you go out to CCT's YouTube page, you can see, just type in Bishop Harper, Bishop William Harper. You can pull up all the videos. They look great. They still work great. And the difference, the reason why, it goes back to what we were saying with audio and managing the equipment and making sure it's packed away, and no one touches these cameras. They've been sitting in the same spot for 15 years. We've never had to get up there and service them. They last. They last. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's the camera. So that's an iris. Each camera has an iris on it that Taylor is back there controlling. So she can select each camera and open and close the iris accordingly. And so I have it, if we go dark, so that it's always visible. She's watching, she's color correcting. Back there, she can control each camera. And when she's ready for it, she'll switch to the next. And so that's kind of the benefit of the pan, tilt, zoom. And now with these, like I said, we're 15 years old. So I have 3 Cat5 cables coming from each camera, but now there's one Category 6 cable that takes video, power, and audio over one now. Each one of these has 3. So when we switch out these cameras in the next couple of months, I think it's January, I'm literally going up there, popping the camera in and just selecting which one of it'll still work over the Category 5. But I'll just pop it in because they're not doing audio. And power, I'll just leave the one for the power. But if there's a new install, it's one cable that runs to each location, pop it in the back of the camera, and popping in right back there into the mixer. Now the new cameras, they come with Wi-Fi on them now. So I can pull up each camera from home, just like we do with the video cameras now. The new PTZ cameras, they all carry their own MAC addresses. And as long as the sound system is on or the booth is on, now Pastor Harper will not only be able to look at his security cameras, but he can pull up these too. He'll be able to pull up these too and see what's going on at any particular time. Additionally, they also now come with their own SD card slot. And so if we're recording, it's also recording to each camera. And no, you do not have to get a ladder and get up there and pull the SD card out. Just like he accesses it on his phone, that computer back there, I can access that camera and pull the data off that it recorded. How is this helpful? Because usually we would like to record from every camera that's in play, and then maybe go back later in post-production and be able to mix or remix. Well, now you can, because right now the way I got this feed is going into one mixer, so what you see on the screen is what you get. I don't have individual camera control or recording. But with the new ones, I'll be able to pull it up and easily be able to take data from each camera, and it'll be back there on the computer because I accessed that IP address. All right? Iris control, we just covered that. Great question. Taylor's doing all that right now. She's covering iris, white balance, lighting, and color matching is all a part of the video production. Making sure that everything, just like you just noticed, excellent question. The room is dark, but I can't tell on the screen. That's because Taylor is back there doing all that. One person is operating 4 cameras, and this is extremely beneficial to the church that does not have a lot of volunteers. What is this camera? Each one of those cameras is about $2,400. Each one of those cameras are about $2,400. However, these cameras paid for themselves in 2005. We put them up in 2002. They were paid for about 2005 on their own. Just what they did. We've had several concerts that came in here and they paid for video. Pay for, just in what we do here at Christ Community Temple. And here we are 15 years later and they're still working. Haven't had to service one. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. 5 minutes, you'll be ready to roll. 5 minutes, you'll be ready to roll. So at the top, you'll have your different cameras. You can put up to 8 PTZs on that one. But you select which camera you want to control. You control it, move it around, get it where you want it placed. Then you fade to it. Move on to the next camera, fade back. All that's done from one console. Yeah, well, the iris. The iris controls the amount of light that you allow to get into the lens. And so when you control that iris on that particular camera, that camera will get darker and brighter depending on where it is. So the iris is set obviously different from that camera than this camera. However, when she switches between them, you can't tell because she's controlling the iris on each one of them independently right before she switched to it. And it's addictive. Once you sit back there and you figure out what's going on, you'll be back there after church is over still playing with it. It's a fun, very, very fun product. All right? And yes, sir. That's all in it. That's all. It's Vadio. Vadio is the device, and the Vadio PTZ is the one we're using. A Vadio PTZ mixer with the Sony cameras. These are Sony 3-chip cameras, but the new ones are from JVC, and JVC they're just trying to take it over right now. Panasonic, comparable to what JVC is offering, is about $5,000, but JVC has them for like $2,300, and they are purposely doing that so they can take over the whole PTZ. But Sony is not dying off. Sony is putting their money into PTZ. It's running about 30% of their sales right now, the PTZ cameras. Let's see here. Studio quality, I think we covered all that. Each camera is wall mounted, carried over at category 6. All right. How to stream and capture, we're going to cover that. But I wanted to do this first part to set up where we're going with Brother Michael Upshaw to kind of catch us up to video, because we're getting ready to go to him. But when we have a PTZ camera system, it really simplifies your audience, simplifies your volunteer responsibility, because one person can operate all of these cameras. Okay, so if we'll help you, we'll show you how to afford a 4-camera PTZ system. But if you want to do your own outright and you have a single camera system, less is more. These are some of the things. How do you stream and capture? Your video output will go to your video capture device via HDMI. It's pretty much standard right now, the HDMI input or output, and it'll go into your switcher of the camera. So you have like different switchers, like if you're going between multiple cameras or going between a camera and a PC, you will switch using your video switcher. Leading capture devices, the one we use back there is an all-in-one. What we mean by all-in-one, it captures, streams, and record. So it takes in the video, and it records, and it sends out to Christ Community Temple's YouTube page, Pastor Bishop Harper's Facebook page, Mother Harper's Facebook page, and the website, the church's website. That's the VidU by Teradek. It's probably the most popular one right now. The VidU has 2 of them. One is $600, one is $900. The one that's $600, it just doesn't have you can't put an SD card in it. The $900 one, you can put an SD card in and you capture. Where most people often go with the $600 one is because I'm recording to YouTube, so if I want it, I can go up there and download it. I don't need a SD. I'm not going to pay $400 for an SD card slide. That's literally the only difference between the two. One, you can put an SD card inside of and record right to an SD card. But if you don't have to have your data immediately, then you can go to YouTube later and just download what you recorded live. So those are the 2 different options from Teradek. You have the live stream broadcaster, which is the red box that everyone has. And then you have the Blackmagic Intensity, which is also a popular one. Where these benefit you is if you have a single run camera, these devices can clip right to the top of your camera, and you just press one button to record and send it out. All right. So that's where those come in. But if you have a laptop, we're going to take you through something here with Brother Upshaw here shortly, where there's another capture card that we use that allows us to go around and do so much with vMix, and he's going to cover that here shortly. But if you do have currently right now a gun camera or a camera on a tripod, you just select one of those 3 guys and just simply come out and go inside of it with the HDMI and be able to distribute. Also, what Brother Mike is going to tell you, he works with all 3 of these products too. So what Brother Mike does, you're sending one feed to live stream, and he takes it and sends it out to YouTube, Ustream, your Facebook pages, Instagram, Apple TV, Roku, your church's website, his app, the app that he'll build for you. He takes one feed and he distributes it live to all of your formats. So that's what Livestream, the folks over at Livestream, he's going to cover that in about 30 seconds. Most of them are equipped with the SD slides, but this is what the format that we work out with. We work through streaming software. The one that I use is vMix, and he's going to cover that here. vMix not only takes your video information in and distribute it among all of the different platforms, but you can do production in there. He's going to show you in a minute. He's on vMix now. This is vMix. You're going to see him walk in front of here in a minute. But he's in front of a green screen, and you can put whatever you want. This is a green screen. This is not a computer screen. He's going to walk in front of here in a minute and start talking to us. But basically, he's replacing the green screen. Yep, there he is. So he's going to go over there and take it, but that's vMix, and he's going to take us through all of that, and then he's going to have some questions for you pertaining on how to stream, proper ways to stream, and all that. So I want you all to give a warm welcome to my friend and brother, the president of Livestream TV, Brother Michael Upshaw. He's coming to you at this time. Mike, let me unmute you here. Okay. 1 second, let me make sure I got you. Say something. I can't hear you. Brother Mike, I appreciate that, and we're going to open up for some Q&A here to kind of cover with, first steps for, just let us know what do you think they need to focus on or what it would take. I'm going to provide them with information and link everyone here with Brother Mike just to make sure that you all have his information and how to get started, but kind of share with them what exactly they need to get up and rolling to be effective with even a single camera system and being ready to go and stream immediately. And I got mine, so I'll show it to him. I got my Magwell with me. I'll show it to him while you're talking. The Magwell is going through right now. Basically, the Magwell, it connects to your computer USB. So it's a USB cord that goes from there, and then you have a HDMI that comes right out of your camera and goes right into there. And with that single connection, with that little guy right there, that's how you're able to get your camera into the sound system. I'm sorry, into the streaming service, which is vMix, and then Brother Mike pretty much takes everything from there. But any questions? Yes. Yes, he said yes. Any other questions? Well, Mike, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. We will be doing another class, as I mentioned to you guys, on the Zoom, starting in 2 weeks. And Brother Mike will be one of our speakers on our Zoom class for the volunteer and media training that will start in the next 2 weeks. You'll get a schedule as far as the one that he'll be conducting, but he'll go a little deeper into streaming, developing your audience, how to capture your audience, how to grow your online streaming audience, and all of that. We'll provide you with all of the information you need here to be able to do that. In that session, he'll go a little deeper into what vMix is and show you all how vMix works. vMix is another one of those toys that you'll sit and be playing with for hours. I was a victim of vMix, sitting there and playing with it, and before I knew, I had been on that thing for like 3.5, almost 4 hours playing with it. But just like the PTZ cameras. Now, a neat feature of the vMix is everything that I told you that Taylor's back there doing, vMix can control those cameras as well, control your PTZ function. So within the software, say you had your PTZ cameras and you didn't have the mixer right there, you can control your PTZ cameras. So with vMix, once I get these new cameras up in here, believe it or not, from Atlanta, I'll be able to control what's going up on the screen, control the cameras here. I'll be able to move the cameras from Atlanta. I'll be able to zoom in. I'll be able to do all that from vMix once I link up with these PTZ cameras. I'll be able to record. I'll be able to do everything. That booth can be empty, and I'll still be able. Yes, from Atlanta. So that's where we're going. We're waiting on the same thing for audio. I'm gonna team up with Charles. We're gonna figure out how to do that, where we can do sound in churches from from us. We ain't quite figured that out yet, but video it's already happening. There's a company, believe it or not, that is in California that runs Equation Church like that. Equation has several satellite locations, and it's a company. They're in an office in Southern California, and they do all of the camera production for Equation Church for their PTZ. Yeah. Yes, sir. Perfect. Yep. Perfect. Yeah, we have everyone's information here, so we'll be sending that out on the post as well. Brother Mike, I appreciate it. Would you all help me thank Brother Michael Upshaw, president of Livestream TV? Appreciate you, sir. Thank you for taking away this valued time with your family to come and be a part of this with us. We appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Give it up for Brother Mike Upshaw. The next part is where we want to kind of cover. Now that you told us how to, and you enticed us with all of this information, Mike, how do we get there? How do we pay for this? And this is a question, man, that is often asked, and the answer is very, 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 very simple. Let me pull my thing back up here 1 second here. Okay, we're good. There we go. Okay, we covered all that. Oh, yes. Okay. This is what you all asked me about at break. Presentation software for worship. We're going to go through this real quick. The top leading ones are Media Shout, Easy Worship, Pro Presenter, and Proclaim. What presentation software does, it's what pulls up on your screen as far as scriptures, songs, video announcements. That's all done from your camera, from your presentation computer, and primarily that's where Taylor is. But Taylor, let's see how this works. Taylor moved from one to the other. She knows she can do audio too. So that's the importance of making sure that your team is well-rounded. Train them in everything. Even if they like audio, train them in everything so they can move around. But these are the four leading ones. And I'm going to tell you now the difference between them and I'm going to tell you which one is the best. And it's a constant argument and that's one thing I suggest you all do. On Facebook, social media, there are several different pages and groups that we have out there. Church, media, and sound text. That's one group. There's so much information I found in there. From talking to other church technical directors, sound engineers, video engineers, challenges they had coming up, and it's just a quorum of about probably 15,000 different texts, and they just give input and this is what problems we had today. Okay, this is how you fix it. And so become social with other worship audiovisual groups. Church Sound and Media Text is one. Churchproduction.com is one. They have one out there. Live Audio Visual Church Engineers is another one. So just go out there and just search YouTube, but there's several helpful information. One of the leading arguments, or one of the high dollar arguments that's out there, is the presentation software. Different people like their different things, and I'm finna give you the information on all of them because I worked with all of them. Media Shout. As you see here, this is one that a lot of people like. This is the easiest one, even though Easy Worship has a cute name. Media Shout is the easiest, all right? However, with Media Shout, you're limited on what you're able to do. This is more so for the volunteers. We're green out. We're just getting started. Hey, we don't want to know all that other stuff. We're just getting started. We want to be able to show the songs and show the scriptures, and that's it. We out. And so this here will allow you to do that. You can get content up there really easy, and all your user back there has to do is just click on it. Just click on each slide. That's it. That's all it does. You don't have the ability to do lower thirds and transparents and all that stuff on here, send multiple outputs. What you see is what you get. Yes. Oh yeah, it'll do PowerPoint, but you cannot manipulate PowerPoint. So you'll load it in, and you can run through it. However, if you set up your PowerPoint and you have your PowerPoint set to a loop, it's going to loop in here, and you can't stop it. So you have to go back out, go to your PowerPoint, take it off loop, take it off transition, because when you get it in here, what you see is what you get. These are going to all be your PowerPoint. You just click on it. All right? So it's really for the beginning user. Really good with songs. Good thing about it, they got a lot of songs already stored. When we first started using Media Shout, it wasn't our songs. But somebody must have got that message to them. So Media Shout, last time I checked, Jason Nelson's and Jonathan Nelson's whole catalog was in there. And if we be honest, I think they found out who their demographic were. They found out who uses their product the most. So it's a gospel platform in there. The bad thing about it, the slightly good thing about it, is that the real words are in there. So if your choir didn't learn the right words, that could be a major issue for you. But that's Media Shout. Any questions on Media Shout? Bible's in there. Key point, you got to pay for all of them. You don't get free Bibles with Media Shout. All right? They're about $14.99 each. Easy worship. It is what it says. It's pretty easy. The thing now with easy worship, it's basically a step up from Media Shout, but you can add video. Like video, both linear and non-linear video. I hate non-linear video. What non-linear video is you put in a link to a YouTube, and it plays directly from YouTube. You got internet connections or anything? We don't do that. We AV engineers, we don't play back from YouTube. We don't do that. Because the internet can fail at any time. And if you up doing your praise and worship song, you gave us a YouTube link, and YouTube decides to stop working, we got 500 plus people turning around looking at us like we the issue, when you didn't provide us with the actual song because you didn't want to go buy it. So we don't fly with YouTube. So, but that is a feature that easy worship. Now, yeah, just give CDs or DVDs. It's real easy. But that's what Easy Worship does. They have a host of graphics that comes free with it that you can go to their website and download. They have songs too, not our songs. They're not our songs. But the songs are in there. However, with Easy Worship, you can go in there and build a song to their network. If you want to pay it forward, if you sing a song that you feel is going to be used frequently, you can go in there and add that song to there. Easy Worship probably has, I think they have every Bible. They give you 14 free. 14 Bibles free. But in there, you have everything. Every hermeneutical Bible that you can find, they have every Bible already loaded in there. All you have to do is just click on it. Once you have your card in there, it'll automatically charge. Download that Bible into there. So Easy Worship is pretty simple. It's the next step up from Media Shout. This is the big boy. Very hard. Let me rephrase. Learning curve on it. It's a high learning curve on ProPresenter. This is when you're serious. It's like you can have multiple outputs, lower thirds, transparent videos. You can blend with live videos. You can record in here. You can set up for how it's going in there. It can be controlled from multiple computers. You can designate what, like for instance, in most churches, some of the large churches now, you have a center screen now. Through Easy Worship, you can tell what you want to go to each screen. 3 different outputs. And so it's the most fluid. It's really not much in here that you can't do, except for one thing that we'll cover in the fourth one. Mm-hmm. 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 No. The reason why you're not doing nothing wrong, this was created for Mac. You have a Mac. And so, yeah. So it's how he saves it on his PowerPoint. He needs to save it to the same version that you are opening with on your computer. So when you go to Save As and you click what type, when you click on what type, you have Word 97 through 2003. You have Word, PowerPoint 10. You need to make sure that the same PowerPoint that you have on your presentation computer is the same format that he's saving it in, because those two don't talk to each other. And that has nothing to do with ProPresenter or Mac. That has to do with Microsoft. So some of the pictures may not show up. The graphics don't look as good. That's because he's going from one to another. So he needs to save in the same format that you have. Yes. It's funny because the frustration that's on your face now is the same one that's on everybody's face when it comes to pro presenting. You gotta do your own. You gotta add your own. Yeah, you gotta add your own. You build your own slides in there. It's for. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and that's kind of the benefit of it. But it's you create your own format in Pro Presenter, and when you have time to sit and do it, and there's a Pro Presenter channel on YouTube, and they got all the trainings from 101 all the way down. Hmm. So lower thirds is if you when you see your pastor up here, and then across the bottom here it says his name and the church name across the bottom. Lower third, yeah. So in there you can do that during your live. So if I like up here across the bottom, it would say Michael Harper or lower third. That would be the lower third. And people want to do that live. So one more step. You can go live through ProPresenter. Yeah. You can go live through ProPresenter and you have the overlay feature. Overlay feature basically takes your graphic and it makes it transparent to have a transparent background. So that means if the video is up like right here, and I'm going to put the words on across the bottom, which most people do now. And so you don't have to give up your video so that you can play your words. The words will just come across the bottom. That's called overlay. And you can overlay a lower third to where even your scripted, you know how some people do other things, media side when you work with them, they will have overlay. And so you either have to one or the other. You either have to have video or graphic. Now, me being from St. Louis, I figured out how to do it. Basically, with easy words, I create a slide, but I put the words at the bottom, and I use the white feature on the camera. The white, now I'm create my own little thing. Or you can get an overlay that does that for you if you work with it. So the pre program is all part of it. So they got save video. Yes, it records. You can't stream through program. No. You can record what you're doing. Yes, exactly. All right? Any other questions on program? ProPresenter is a key frustration to a lot of people. But once you do learn it, it's pretty easy. Now, the one that we all use is Proclaim. Proclaim is a division of logos. Logos is what a lot of the pastors use to compile their messages. And the main reason, and Proclaim has been around probably about 2 years now, and they're working, these guys are working really hard to fix the bugs and fix these bugs. But the main feature of Proclaim is file. So I create presentations for while in it. I create presentations for other people while I'm in Atlanta. And everything I do is tailor to something, my pastor in Atlanta uses it. My father uses logos. I don't know. Do you use logos? You don't use it? Okay. But they use it to compose their messages. They pick out their scriptures, their points, with the click of a button. Their sermons are y'all. Their whole sermon is in here already. All the scriptures, everything is in here already. By the time we get in on Sunday morning. So for playing, you do everything that you can do in the other one. I Okay. So you have multiple people building the worship service throughout the week. And by the time you come in on Sunday, everything's in place. Pre-service is already set up in there. Our co-pastor, Pastor Alicia, she selects all of the pre-service music, all of the post-service music, all that's in here already on Sunday morning. She connects it to Spotify, and so all that's in there. So when we get ready to roll, it's up and going. All we got to do is turn on the screen, click go live, and it runs in order. Yes, ma'am. You can, the main thing is, that's another internet-based thing. So we usually just take the songs and download them and then put them in there. And each slide you can add music to. And if I highlight for a shift and select all these slides, and I can put a song in there and say loop these slides until the song is done. Or I can select all of these slides right here, these first 4 slides, if I'm rotating them for pre-service, and then I can say play this playlist until loop these slides on this playlist until I'm done. It's easier than all 3 of them. They're all $279 and $299. Yeah, Pro Presenter I think has gone up. Yes, yeah. This is $299. Yes, this comes with, I don't know how many comes. I think it comes with 15, but everything we need is in there. New King James Version, Amplified, the Message Bible. That's all in there. Songs, they have a song archive in there, but this is another feature of this one. It talks to Planning Center Online. And so our minister of music, he builds all his music catalog in Planning Center Online. And when he's done over there, he sends the songs in here. So the songs are in there by the time I get over here because it talks to Planning Center Online. So he builds all his songs for the choir rehearsals and everything, having them listen to it, all that stuff ahead of time. So by the time it gets over in here, I already have it there. I just throw a background on it and we ready to roll. Yes, sir. Yeah, I briefly mentioned it. So let me tell you what. Yeah, you want to go? Okay. Yep. And the website is planningcenteronline.com.
So Planning Center, you can talk to each other. Like if I wanted to talk to you, so say for instance, if pastors want something changed, he say, we got a guest. I have a friend, pastor. He'll tell us what his name is and the name of his church. So by the time he get here, by the time he announce it, like he's saying, we'll take and put his name up there, lower third, his church, his name, who he is. And so through Planning Center, we talk to each other that way. And in Planning Center, it is a scheduling or a scheduler, like what audio team, what video team, even the songs that we're going to sing, so they can be uploaded for when the time for the choir to sing. All that stuff, the words and everything is up on screen. As engineers, or it's so many different programs, and it all depends on how advanced you want to take your service. I call all church service productions because that's what they really are. This is just Charles. This program, you'd be better off Learning before presenting.
Learning it.
Because when I tell you, this right here is just a glorified video chat room.
Right.
That's all it is. And the reason why I say that is because, again, there's certain things like, we call them pre-shows. If you got announcements or some kind of slide that you want just looping while people are coming in, we call them pre-shows. And it's cloud-based. It's cloud-based.
Yeah.
But YouTube, the tutorials.
Any more questions? Yep. Users? No. At least I haven't gotten users. Right now on ours, it's about 11 or 12 of us on there now. So we use them all. It just depends on, where your church is. You have a reason. You have a solution to all of these. Where it's most beneficial for us, I don't know if y'all have to deal with it. Pastors cover y'all ears. But it's like pulling teeth to get the scriptures on Sunday morning. Yeah. Yeah. 10 minutes before. And the reason why this saves the time, because it's there. Because as he's building his sermon, it's loaded up. So that's one that makes my heart glad. The fact that we can also work remotely and compile and compose remotely. But like I say, ProPresenter does some amazing things if you have time to learn it. And I would just try to knock off one of those classes. I think the classes are 23 minutes each. They try to do a hard cutoff at 23 minutes on the online training. But do one a week. Perfect that one thing a week. And then move on. That's what I did with Adobe Photoshop. It's the same way. Take one of the classes a week. Perfect that. But it really depends on where you guys are and which one makes more sense for your team. Any other questions? Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, along with the CDs and DVDs going extinct, so are the projectors. Projectors only be around probably another 18 months or so. A lot of what you see now are the video wall or LED panels that are going up. Why? Because they run off basically 10 amps. So they are power consumption easy. They can be configured in any kind of format. They're brighter and they are clearer than what you would get from a typical projector. That's why I'm a little hesitant to sell anybody a $30,000 projector or $10,000 or $15,000 projector. They're good, but as Brother Charles also alluded to, and Brother Michael alluded to, buy for the long term than buying for an immediate need. Buy something you can add on to or that will benefit you for years down the line. And I can't honestly say with the trend of AV right now that projectors are something that will go down the line. So if you can't find it in your budget right now to buy a video wall, I would most definitely tell you to lean toward the investment of a 70 to an 80-inch LED monitor. Basically, our stipulations right now in the hospitality AV, basically 70 inches can cover 100 people. You got two of those, you can cover in between 100 and 150 people. on one side. So that's about a 300-seat auditorium. If you got 70s on either side. 80s, right now is 125 each. So that would give you probably about a 250 to about 350 size auditorium. You get into a 90s and 100, that will cover probably around the 400 to 500. So it's really dependent on the demographic of your, how large is your church? 270s will be fine. Right there, that's 106. That's 106 viewing up there. And so it really depends on how many people you are looking to display to. If you have, you say 250? 70s or 80s on each side will be fine. That'd be more than enough. And right now, 70s you can get, man, these guys are just incredible. These are the Visios. These are 65s. So you're looking at 5 more inches for 70s and 10 to 15 for 80. And by the time you buy 2 of those, that's one projector. So a projector on one side, so you either buy one projector for one side or you buy 2 of these and you're getting a higher definition. So about 2,000 for a good one. These are really good ones. You can find some at Sam's for $8.99. but like for like the real serious ones, like even if you bought the most expensive one at 2,500, 2 of those, that's 5,000. You're not getting a projector that's going to cover that side for less than 5,000, about 4,500. That's a real projector. So you do this plus the mounts. The chief mounts, they're about 125 each. So worst case scenario, if you went all the way out, got the Samsungs or the LGs, you $5,300. So this is most definitely a way to go. All right? Yes. Great question. So let me go ahead and tell you, you're not making no revenue from selling CDs. You're not making money. It's not there. If you take what you are spending, because whether or not they're volunteers or not, their time is worth something. So you take what they're taking, sitting there and making copies of CDs, plus what you all are selling for them. How much you selling for? $7, $5? What are you selling? What are you selling your CDs for? Huh? $5? It's not worth it. You're not making any valuable money or anything that much to contribute. And what you're actually doing, I wrestled with this for years. What you're actually doing, you're kind of hindering the outreach of your church. How are you hindering outreach? I ain't got $5. People gonna walk past you. How many people walk past you on Sundays? How many people walk past you? But what could your church benefit from if that message was shared, that your members took that out with them, and they were able to listen to that message throughout the week? And how do you replace that revenue is your question. Well, you don't replace it, you triple it. How do you triple it? Partnership campaign. We have a partnership campaign where we do our podcast. We get people to do one of 3 tiers. First tier, $10 a month. We say at least $10 a month. All right? For that, they get 4 sermons. Usually it's the last 4 sermons, audio. They get access to that first tier of the podcast. And they pull it up on their phone. It's out there before they get to their car. The last 4 sermons. They give $10. It's the same person that walked past me for the last 8 months and didn't buy a CD. Now I'm getting $10 a month from them. 4 sermons automatically loaded up. All right? Yes, sir. That's where, right. Show me another one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Absolutely. And with that, um, that first tier, we have vouchers that we give to our volunteers. It's absolutely correct. And rather than them paying monthly, they have a voucher code that they put up there, and it gives them access to tier 1, which is the last 4 sermons. Tier 2 is 12 sermons. They get 12 sermons, but that's $25 and up a month. Tier 3 is 50 plus. They get an entire year of audio and video. All right. And so we recently just rolled ours out about 3 weeks ago, and have 90, 50 or that are 50 or higher, and we have 35 that are the middle, and then 78 that are on tier 1. This money is coming in every month. That's how you replace your CDs. And the easiest part about it is that they get to determine how much they want to give per month. And then you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're putting the message out there. The company that I use is churchhero.com. Churchhero.com. You can go on now, and Josh has a free version that you can get free for 30 days. You can show how you upload it, and then it'll give you an RSS feed. And Mike, podcast. You can do video or audio. You can upload. And it's just for your partner, so you can have it password protected. They have to go through the password protected. Michael Upshaw manages my password protected sites, so he does that for me too. So he creates my 3 tiers. He takes all the payments, processes payments through and all that stuff, and each one of my people have access to go up there whenever they want to. But churchhero.com is where you would go. Now, the churchhero.com information is not what you want to give out to people because it's not password protected. But you'll take your RSS feed from churchhero.com and send it to Michael Upshaw, and he'll create your tiers. Okay? Because if you give your RSS feed out, it's free, it's wide open. So, as Brother Charles was saying, my volunteers has an RSS feed. You see what I'm saying? So, like our internal, and they know not to share it. Yes. Churchhero.com. So they have. It depends on your quantity you want. The free site you get 10 gigs. It's hard to fill up 10 gigs worth of audio. That's free. And he has a plan your visit on their site where you can plan your visit for your listeners and all that stuff. There's multiple benefits on there. Great guy. And he's really right now just trying to be a blessing to churches. But after that, if you get to 20 gig, if you're uploading video and audio directly to him, it's $19 a month. You also take your RSS feed. Say, hey, I ain't trying to do no partnership. I just want to get the message out there. You can take your RSS feed and upload it to Apple Music. Create your own podcast, your church's podcast, and you. So RSS feed is an IP protocol. Basically, it's just a location of where your podcast is. It's a HTML location of where your podcast is, and then different companies take that and just get access to, like Apple Music would just get access to your information, which is your material. Church Hero has their own app, but so you can just leave it all Church Hero, most definitely, and you can just do the Church Hero app, Church Hero podcast. Yep, right there, just that easy. Or you can take the RSS feed from Church Hero and put it over in Apple Music or iTunes. If you want them to. Yes, if you want them to. I can download my Church Hero to my phone. So it's a little download icon if I wanted to. But for my partnership, what we're doing, I don't want them to download it. You got to go here to my partnership page to listen to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for coming. Absolutely. Thank you all so much. And we will as well. We got all your information. Thank you so much. Satana, you had a question? Oh, they're multi-platform. All right. I'm supposed to tell you just get an iPhone, but their Church Hero is on both. RSS feeds can also be taken to Google Play. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now you all ask, how do I do it quickly? I use a Tascam. There's also another version called the Zoom. I'll take an output, plug it right here into the side there. Has a micro SD card on it. I record right here with the sermon. I'm also recording to CD. I'm also recording in Pro Tools. However, with CD and Pro Tools, it doesn't make it, I can't instantly take that data and upload it to Church Hero. So at the end of the sermon, I could either A, take out my SD card and put it in the computer, or I can hook up my data cable right here, Simply upload the Church Hero. Takes less than 30 seconds. Before they get out to the car, that sermon is already in the partnership page. This is the Tascam. It's the Tascam. Yep. TASCAM. This is a DR-05. The DR-05. This one was 89. Yeah. So, and I use this all the time. But if I'm going out and I'm front of house at shows, I'm plugging in here so I can listen to it later. Listen to mixes. So, it's all audio engineers pretty much carry one of these, media personnel. It also has omnidirectional and directional mics on top. So you can take it and sit it up there and record if on a particular Wednesday night Pastor wants to just record it. Anywhere. You can tap it into your mixer, anywhere. Yep. And that's what I usually do. I tap it into my mixer. I have a line in. So, where is it? Oh, right up here. Straight here. And I do take this from the house because I want my podcast listener to hear everything that's if we heard it in the house. So I just come out of my mono output into an 1/8 inch right in here, press record. I get done, take it out, pop it in the computer, upload the Church Hero. It's done before we say the benediction. This is the DR-05. DR-05. And this is the quickest way to record digitally and have access to it. Another benefit, they walked out, but another benefit to the digital consoles, you can place a USB drive in there and record. Same thing. You can record on your digital consoles. Most of them have the record feature. You can put some USB in there and record. I'm recording now on a USB back there. All right? No, either way. Yeah. Yeah, they were the first ones. Yeah. The Soundcraft was the first one to have it on the board. Yep. Put the USB right in there and record it. Now Behringer has it. I don't know if the bigger boys have it. I don't think the big boys have it, but it's more so for the prosumer mixers like the SI Expressions, the X32s. Yeah, Studio Live has it. Yeah. And so, but like the CL5s, all nah. All right. Now y'all want to know? Let me get to as we're wrapping up here. So let me show what all we cover at Global Pro AV. We cover any and everything that you can think about as far as the gear is concerned. Way the Lord blessed me with this deal with our distributors. We were able to not only get a distribution deal, but get a platinum distribution deal. And so I'm able to pass along our costs only to our churches. Now we're talking to other integrators and AV companies. They get the regular pricing, but Ephesians 3:20, now unto him who's able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that you can ask. I think God did exceedingly. Because I said, God, wow, you bless us with. He was like, no problem. Give that extra to the churches. And that's what our focus and our goal is. We're giving that extra to the churches so that we can help improve the technology of our churches effective immediately. And so where we are and what we normally would be, where you will see the pricing, say our pricing is competitive, we're even still lower than like Guitar Center, Online, ZZ Sounds, and those companies. We're even still lower than them. But our church pricing is even lower than that. And so that's where we were able to be a blessing and When God tells you to do something, you do it. And he said clearly that extra blessing is for my churches. So that extra blessing we've been passing on to our churches. And so long we've been paying, but I don't think our churches should pay the same thing as the DJ club and the other venues. I think we should have access to it. And so that's where we are right now. So we work directly with you, and you'll be getting emails and stuff from us. But I'm your point of contact. Anything you all need before you go spend any money on it. I know it's appetizing to go right in Bridgeton and get what you need. But if you can wait a day or two, it's going to save you a lot of money. And they don't have the good stuff anyway. As one person said, if you can wait and call me and I ship it out directly to you, it will save you a disgusting amount of money, because their prices have gone all the way up because they're getting ready to go out of business. And they're strictly finna go to exactly what we're doing, which is online only. The brick and mortar stores are costing them. It's costing everybody. And so now if they can make the same amount of money or more by just doing an online store, then that's where they are. And so here, we covered just about everything. Now, the one thing that we have not yet been able to get to is advanced funding. What is advanced funding? Well, there are companies that say, hey, go get the business, and you can set them up with payments. That's what Z-Sounds is. Z-Sounds, rather. They'll say, hey, we'll send the gear out to you now, and you can pay us off in 8 payments. Well, there's a company that pays for that. It's a high-risk company. And those high-risk companies are not willing to go into business with people that are in business for less than 10 to 15 years. I don't even think I want to be involved with a high-risk company because our folks ain't been doing right by Z-Sounds. Z-Sounds, you better not ask them about a black church. They're going to tell you what they really feel about a black church. And so the advantage that we do have is that we ship directly to you from the vendor. And not only do we ship directly to you from the vendor, but we do it in less than 2 to 3 days. It's in your possession. And so what I did, I said, well, let me find some partners. And what we did, we did find some partners. We worked through Quail Financial. We worked through Lending Tree. And they said, Mike, hey, we know what you're dealing with. So this is what we're able to offer your people. That 90 days has moved up to 120 days now. But they're available financing from anywhere from $10,000 to $1 million. I'm blind right now. No financial review. So basically, they just need a guarantor. Your guarantor has to have higher than a 630 credit score. That's just your guarantor. And usually with the older churches like Christ, like this church, they wouldn't need a guarantor. They have bank filings to show that there's consistent income. So established church that we recently were able to get a deal for. No money down for 120 days. Their note will be $800 after that 120 days. But it's a 2,500 seat auditorium and a $65,000 sound system. So another one, Kinley Temple, that we just submitted for, and we're in obviously with the loss of our bishop, R.J. Ward, we're in the middle of a transition there. But Kinley Temple got approved for $1 million, no guarantor. Sound system that we're putting in there is $90,000. Their payment is stretched over longer because their establishment as a long-running church, their payment is $500 a month. All they have to pay is $500 a month. They also have 120 days, no payments up for 120 days. And so until there's a pastor there, we're not going to pull the trigger on that just yet, until a pastor has been assigned there. But that's just to give you two ends of the spectrum. That's Kinley Temple will by far have the best sound system in this region. And so that's a big boy system. All right, and that's what they would pay. And so we have anything. Also, don't be intimidated by the $10,000 price. We have another. That's where Quail comes in. Quail will finance you for $60 up to $500,000. Quail Financial, and they're the same thing. They're 90 days, same as cash. So if you wanted to do a $6,000 worth of gear, they'll work out a short-term loan with you. All right. We have access to all these guys. It takes less than 10 to 15 minutes before they know. And when I say less than 15 minutes, they're calling me, Mike, where do you want us to wire the money? That easy. And so this is how you get to that point. Also, I'm going to be posting here. I'm gonna play a little bit of it, but our home church, with Pastor Jasper Williams, we completely redid the whole sanctuary piece, and I mean tore out the stage and everything in January. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And we were able, through his capital funding program, and I'm going to be sending this out to all pastors, and I won't play that today because we don't have a heavy quorum of pastors here. But he has some information for pastors that I'm going to send to you, and have your pastor watch this video, because pastors are initially afraid of the price tag. But there are some things that have been done. Our church right now currently has about 350 to 400 members, and they paid off a $80,000 renovation in lighting and sound and all that in 2 weeks, in capital funding, and how using your people to, you have to first, like what we got into, you have to sit your people down and say, hey, this is what we're trying to do. Can we get some people? And those people will not only sow into the ministry, but they will get other people to sow into the ministry. And you can tell them how to get other people, how to fund your capital campaign. And what that has benefited from is that you then take that 120 days that you got before your first payment, use that 120 days that you got for your first payment to do your capital funding campaign. And that capital funding campaign, when you do it the right way, in this video that I'm going to send around to our pastors, it'll show you exactly how to do that. And that's what we want to do. We want to get to the point where we are showing you meaningful ways in how you all get it done, how to get it paid for, and it not be a stress or a hindrance to the church. Christ Community Temple's new video, we're getting ready to redo all the video in here. That's $24,000. Payment they were offered was $300 a month. 120 days, no payments for 120 days, and after the 120 days, they were paid $300 a month. They still don't believe me. Because, for instance, in Oregon, it was $10,000. We paid $700 a month for that till it was paid off. And so to have your whole AV system, cameras, everything in here redone, and all we have to pay is $300 a month. There's no penalties for buying out early. So if you want to end your contract, there's no penalties. These are all house of worship financiers. And we will get you all connected with what you need. There's really no excuse that you all can have not to get what you need to be up and rolling and functional in your churches. All right. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're working within Chicago, St. Louis, Atlanta, Nashville, Charlotte, with different integrators, and we have some guys that's just for that. That are like a lot of it I can do remotely, and I just can't site survey remotely. So that's where I have strategically gotten with techs in this area in Chicago and Nashville that are going to do just that. Hey, go out and see what's wrong with them, see what's going on. And so we handle that here. Here in this region, we have two, Brother David Hicks and also Larry Lee. Larry Lee is probably who I'll send to you. He can get out there and take a look, and he'll be able to, he knows what to look for and to call back. And even if he don't have an issue, he knows how to talk to me and tell me what's going on, and I'm able to coach him through. Those are people that I work with quite frequently here. We also work with Iron Man Audio. They're the #1 AV company here in St. Louis. They took care of us on everything that you see here. They also have an integration division that services this area. They're doing a large install for me here at another large church that we are doing, San Francisco Temple. So we have reps and techs in all the locations that we're able to get the help and assistance you need. We don't just deploy the equipment, but we also meet up with you guys to make sure that you have the training, the development that you need to go to the next level. Grateful to God for my brother, my mentor, and also friend who works with us here, and you all have talked with Brother Charles Harris. He just facilitated a rather large system upgrade there and passed it on down to us, and I can't speak volumes to how much I appreciate him for that and trusting his little brother to get it done, and it's working out extremely well. And there we wrapped up that deal, what was that, Monday? And the gear is on his way to him. And this ain't no small stuff, it's a whole bunch of stuff. So it just kind of speaks to the volume of how well our distributor works. They get the stuff out, make it really seamless. They don't like to hold on to it. They want you to get you what you need. All right? Any other questions, comments, or concerns before we wrap up? I want to say thank you on behalf of me and my wife and Global Pro AV. Thank you all for coming out here, not leaving me in this room by myself. I hope that we gave you some valuable information. Between myself, Sister Rihanna, and my wife, we will get you the slide deck. Pastors, I'm going to get you that video from Pastor Jasper, because it's really directed and geared toward our pastors. And all of this session from today will be available online. We have an educational page on globalproav.com. That's our website, globalproav.com. We do have a storefront on globalproav.com, so you can go on there quickly and find, like, if you don't need no consultation, hey, Mike, I need a quick wireless mics. We have wireless mics up there. Have everything that you need. It's a full store. When you go to globalproav.com, it's a full store. We pretty much cover the entire gamut. If there's anything that you know that you need, that, hey, I don't need consultation, I just need to go quick buy, you can quick buy at our website, and it's shipped the same day that it clears. Okay? But on there, you'll have an education tab. Under the education tab, we have this information from today, the video. They have the podcast for the audio that will also be on there. Our contact information will be there. A good thing about it is that if you need direction and guidance, Brother Charles' support of you does not end today. He's also one of our system engineers and will be able to give you that guidance and counsel that you need to make the right decision for audio as well. I'm here for video, audio. We have other people as well that you can consult with. And so we're here for you, a total coverage, not just a customer service place where you can buy and go about your business. We support you beyond the sale, and we would love to have your business and love to support you. Please, we're going to send out, if you have not yet gone over there, if we don't have everybody's email address, make sure we do. We're going to send you all out the notice for when the class starts in 2 weeks via Zoom. We'll cover different things. It's going to be a 12-week class. All we ask is that we see your face. We will be breaking out. There will be small group breakouts. It's very interactive. It's not just death by PowerPoint, but you'll get to help each other. It won't just be you guys from here, but we have 3 teams from Atlanta right now that'll be joining. We have 1 team from Mexico that'll be joining. We have another team in California that'll be joining. We'll all be there. And so when you log on, don't be surprised if you see 65 to 70 other faces looking at you. But that's what it is. It's a class. It's meant to be interactive. We're going to have different speakers coming in at different points, covering different things. But I guarantee you, you do not want to miss this class because it's only so much that we can cover in 3 hours. And I want to be good to end at our promised time. All right? So thank you all so much. Brother Charles, do you have anything else? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any questions or comments? Anything? Thank you all. Thank you all. It's been my pleasure. I'm going to ask my uncle to dismiss us, and then we're going to go out. I think, babe, do we still have food, or we packed it up, or what? Where is it? We still have food back there, so grab you a snack on the way out. Thank you all so much for coming. Pastor Joseph Merritt is going to dismiss us. And please, that number that's in your packets there rings directly to my phone. If you all have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. All right? Thank you all so much. Pastor Merritt will dismiss us.